In this video, I'm going to talk about selection cycling in LEdit. When I'm talking about selection cycling, I'm talking about the handling of selection of overlapping objects in LEdit. So if you have various objects that happen to be overlapping, it doesn't matter what type of objects they are, if they're boxes or wires or instances or vias, we handle them the same way. We use the outline or the edge of the object, and for instances, we use the minimum bounding box of all the objects contained within the instance, and we look at that minimum bounding box or the edge of the object, and we use that edge to determine where you right-clicked for the selection. So if they're overlapping, we look at which edge is closest to the point that you clicked. So the easiest way to select items is to right-click where they don't overlap. That's going to be the easiest. If you have an instance that's not overlapping other things, then you would want to right-click on that. So here I clicked on a box, which happened to overlap with the instance, so it selected the box first. If I click here, there's no box overlapping, so it selected the instance first. So try and click on things that are not overlapping, and that is your best bet. But if you have to click where they are overlapping, then the algorithm we use is it cycles through the selections under your mouse if you keep clicking your mouse without moving it. So as long as you're not moving your mouse, the order of selections is determined by the point clicked to the nearest boundary of each of the objects under your mouse. And then the selection continues regardless of the object type. We find the object that's nearest the edge, and then it finds the next nearest, and then so on. And then after all objects under the mouse have been cycled to, then we deselect all objects, and then it will start the selection over again. Let me show you an example of this. So I actually have a box in the center here. Here you can see the box. You can either look in the status bar here, or I'm going to turn on my selection manager so it's easier to see what I'm selecting here. Here you can see I've got the instance selected, I've got another instance, then it cycles to the box, then it cycles to this instance, then this instance, and then nothing. And then it will cycle through that same series over and over again as long as I don't move my mouse. If I go over this object, here I get a wire, then I get a group, and then nothing, then the wire, then the group, and nothing. So wherever I move my mouse, I can do that cycling of whatever is under my mouse. Another easy way to select objects is to go to Edit, Select, and then select under Point. And if you select that option, then it will say click on a point, and then wherever you click, it will select all objects that are under that point. So now you can see it selected these two instances and the box. And then from the selection manager, say I just wanted the box, I can select the two instances that I don't want, and I can right-click those and say remove from selection list. And then I'm just left with the box remaining in my selection. So the selection manager shows you the things that are in your selection, and you can remove things from the selection by just highlighting them and right-clicking. Likewise, you can just do a select all in here and say I want to get at a specific instance. Say I know the instance is XC1, then I can just select all the items I don't want in here, right-click them, and remove them from my selection list. And then if I click on this again, you'll see that that is the one that is selected. So that is selection cycling in LEdit. Thank you.